Hello and a warm welcome to this special edition of Campus Debate coming to you from the politically live Vyas state of Kerala, where UDF, LDF and the third entrant BJP, that is NDA this time, is testing the political waters. But amidst this political slugfest, are the parties really thinking about the choices and preferences of the youths? What does the young voter of Kerala really want? And are the political parties really meeting up to their expectations? Well, joining me now is a brilliant set of students from the Kerala University. They are basically from the political science department, and we have two scintillating faculty members. In the pink shirt there you can see is Professor Joseph Anthony, and there in the light purple shirt you see is Professor Sajjad Ibrahim. Welcome all of you on this special edition of Campus Debate. I'd like to start from you, Professor Sajjad, before I go to the students. Many people are saying that there is something really unusual about Kerala 2016 elections. How would you really say that?
This time we have a lot of difference from the previous elections, just because I would say that it is turning to from bipolar to tripolar.
Okay.
Because BJP also emerged with a kind of alliance.
Okay.
So people are quite curious to know what would be the net result of this election.
Okay, so basically you are saying that the bipolarity first time in the history of Kerala elections has been breached.
Yeah, breached.
Okay, so that is one point. I'll take in Professor Joseph also before I come to the students. Professor Joseph, if I could ask you, do you also really find anything, do you really find this election unusual in terms of Kerala's political history as you have observed all these years?
Yeah, it is different because, as was suggested by Sajjad, see, as a result of the assumption of power at the center by the BJP government, a third front has emerged.
Okay.
And the present third front has consisted of 11 political parties under the leadership of BJP. And another caste organization also is part of that, front.
Okay.
So that is why, see, as was stated by the bipolarity has breached. And you see, as political science students, we are also looking at the impact.
So basically, wouldn't it be wrong if analysts are saying that all the observers, all their eyes basically are on how this new entrant NDA is going to do, and how much, to what extent can it damage really the vote bank of UDF and LDF? Well, now let me begin with some students who are here. What's your name? Can you start with? What's your name?
Sainuji.
Okay. What are you really expecting? What is your point of view about this election? Are the political parties really talking about the issues which matter to the youths? What do you really feel?
Like already said, our faculties, the presence of NDA is the main factor. What we are expecting this election different from previous election, and we are also interested to know how the impact.
Question I was asking that, are the political parties really talking about the issues which matter to the youth? I'm going to ask you if you can talk about it. Do you really feel that the political parties are talking about the youth issues which really matter to the youth?
Yeah, really, because nowadays political parties are more concentrated on youth issues. Recently, in Kerala, a issue like Jisha, Justice for Jisha. So many political parties take that issue as a political weapon. So youth are more concentrated on politics. In my opinion, maybe political parties more concentrated on youth than previous years.
But there is also an opinion which says that the political parties basically, it's an issueless election and people are not really bothered about what the youth really wants. Would you like to second what I've said?
No, they are very much watching on the rest and consider youth as a factor, because the youth population is very large in Kerala. So getting their votes is their priority for winning the election.
Which front? There are three fronts basically now which are in the political battle. Which front do you really feel is actually talking about the issues? Is it UDF, is it LDF, or is the NDA? Yes.
I think every party which is talking about youth or issues for their benefit and nothing more than our predictions. We predict something more than from this, and previous yesterday or day before yesterday there was a issue just with a girl brutally assassinated by some others. There is nothing nowadays. During these days we can see a lot of protests, and all these are a veil of clearing this.
Registering your
Yes,
protest.
yes.
So you feel that the opposition, especially the LDF, is going to make this into a huge issue with what has really happened with this 29-year-old Dalit student who was raped and murdered. Is women's safety also going to become one of the major issues? Professor Sajjad, if I could ask you.
Yeah, definitely, because this is a issue. Issue is not concerned with the assassination, the enquiry and what kind of actions taken by the police. Whether police is standing with the influential people, so that is the most important question. I think everybody is very much concerned with that.
So do you think this particular issue has a potential of becoming a hot issue for the opposition, because that's a weapon really with which they're going to beat the government?
Yeah, they're trying to make it as a maximum issue or a kind of exploitation, how to exploit this issue at the maximum level.
Right.
Exposing the vulnerability of the police force or the home ministry or like that. So that sense, I think it would be a kind of a major hurdle for the ruling front of UDF.
But let's get in a few more girls. I want you to talk about the fact, do you really feel safe in Kerala when you roam around in the streets? Do you really feel safe on the streets of Kerala? You're from Trivandrum, no?
Yeah, I'm from Trivandrum. The safety really depends on how confident you are. I'll not say that Kerala is very unsafe, but as long as you are confident, you are safe. Otherwise, public will not help you.
Okay, now let's move to a different topic. Women's safety issue has been an important point and on which the political parties and generally the people are talking about. But coming to the voting pattern of the youths, what is that one bit which is there in the minds of the young voters when you cast your vote? Is it the front? Is it the political party? Is it the chief ministerial candidate? On what basis would you really cast your vote on 16th?
Based on the person.
I'll hold the mic.
Based on the person, I will cast my vote based on the person and his image. I will cast the vote.
Image. But when you say person, are you talking about the image of a tall leader like Woman Chandy or Achyutanandan, Pinarayi Vijayan? There are a lot of people in the fray.
No.
Whose image are you really talking about?
No, based on the constituency, from the grassroots level constituency, we should care of the image of the candidate.
Professor Anthony, if I could ask you, any other point on which the people really vote and the voting pattern, is really prescribed on the basis of which point would you say that the voting pattern in Kerala is really different from the way it happens in other states?
See, there is a good chunk of people. We can call them as floating voters.
Okay.
They will consider the merits and demerits of a particular government.
Okay.
And they cast their vote according to the performance of the previous government. That's why we have an alternative government coming and going every 5 years.
If any other student could talk about any demerit which you find, every 5 years the government of Kerala has been changing. Any demerit which you feel is there?
What I feel is really because the people are not satisfied with any front. That's why they are changing this government, because they try for one front in 5 years, and then they just fed up with them. They're just casting their vote to get out the ruling front from the position.
He has made a very important point. So which means that as many people say that politics is very much in the blood of the Malayalis, and the political power, the hunger of power doesn't seem to be satiated very easily. I'm going to get in Professor Sajjad on this. What do you have to really say about this cyclical change which happens every year? Because talking specifically about the development of the state, do you really feel that there is a demerit to it?
No, I don't find that there is any demerit, because again, providing a chance for a second time means it is a kind of suicidal kind of. For example, providing more opportunity for corruption. One front, people find lot of mistakes or a lot of demerits. Right. So they are expecting that there will be corrective measures on the part of next government. So this kind of repetition, this kind of measures are going on. I think this is the expectation of the people, that not to provide one more chance, because people are very clever.
So which means from what you're saying that Woman Chandy now, according to the political history, should not be given a second chance. So which means from what you're saying that Woman Chandy now, according to the political history, should not be given a second chance. Let me ask a few students. Do you want?
I have a point to add.
Yes, I'm coming to you. Yes.
See, the change of government.
One second. I'll give you the mic. Yes.
The change of government within 5 years is not the fault of the people. It is the fault of the government. See, they gave almost all kinds of promises, and after getting power, they divert or go away from that promises. That is why people are forced to cast their votes against that government.
So is corruption also going to be one of the very deciding factors for the voters? Because obviously, as Professor Sajjad is saying, looking at the political history, obviously Woman Chandy should not become the chief minister. So is corruption also going to be one of the major factors which is going to be on your mind while you're casting your vote?
Well, actually, both the fronts have the people who are allegated of corruption. So, as far as I am concerned, really doesn't matter. And as far as the political agenda or the economic agenda, whatever we are considering, I don't really feel any much difference between the parties.
So you mean to say that UDF and LDF, are you trying to hint at the fact that they are almost alike, except for a few maybe policies here and there?
Yeah, almost like that.
So how does the larger question which comes to, from what you are saying, how does really one look at the larger question of change? What is the kind of change which the young voter of Kerala is really wanting to? Like what she said, that, people are really fed up. Every 5 years they want to change. Both the governments, they come to power, they enjoy the power for 5 years, and then when the opposition comes back to power, they start raising questions, pointing fingers. So allegations and counter allegations, this entire, this series of this process starts. How do the governments really address the issues like the aging population, low wages, unemployment? How does the government really deal with these issues?
Government is dealing only with these peripheral issues. Many issues are there unaddressing, because and another important thing, I think that most of the Kerala, particularly youth voters, are very silent voters. We don't predict their minds. Okay. Only in the voting time they will show their mind. And the hardcore commitment to any political party is also declining among youth in Kerala.
Right. But there was a time in 1990s, and by 1995, till 1995, I think, as far as the Kerala political history is concerned, there was a huge chunk of committed voters who were committed to a particular front. Professor Antony, if I could ask you, is that chunk of voter really declining today as far as the voting pattern and the things are concerned? Do you think that chunk is declining, the percentage?
Number of committed voters are declining. And that is why, see, a lot of depoliticization is taking place in our society. As was stated by...
What is the reason? Because that's an important point. Kerala is supposed to be like a political live wire, as I said in my introduction. What is the reason? Because that's a very important point which needs a deeper thought. Why is the state becoming a highly politicized state, becoming depoliticized? What is the exact reason for this?
See, the kind of consumerism is coming to their mind as a result of this globalization process. Okay. So they are more interested in the code-named development and good life, all these things. Okay. And if a particular government, a particular political party is against that, they are against that. Okay. Right. That kind of a political kind of thing is developing in the minds of the people. And see, as was mentioned by Unni, see, only the young voters are more committed to political parties than the aged one.
So from what you're saying, does that give hope to a party like BJP, because they are promising moons, they are promising stars to the people of Kerala? Does that bring some hope for the people of Kerala? Yes, give her the mic, give her the mic. Give her the mic, please. I'll come from that side.
I want to add something to the alternative government. That is, for long years we are giving alternative chance to the 5 years chance to the both front. Yes. But now I feel that we have lost the freedom of choice, because the both parties are acting alike. Because when both come to they will make corruption, they will make scandals, and they will not attend the welfare of the people.
So you mean that BJP should be given a chance?
Maybe. The changing of the minds were changing. People's mind were changing because they want to try another front, because to test what they are going to do. That's why it became BJP is getting power, or they are showing their entry to this poll.
In fact, there is a sizable chunk of Kerala voters which are really saying they are doubtful. At the same time, they are looking for some kind of a change. There are issues like, there are other issues which are revolving around this election of 2016, and that is, the winnability is the only factor on which the quality of candidates has been decided, and that is a very important point which we have seen. We have seen film stars in the fray. There are journalists like Veena George who are there. There have been a lot of criticism, a lot of protests have happened. So are you thinking that winnability is the only factor which is driving this entire election? And of course, it has not been seen in the earlier years like that.
Yeah, this is one important changing phenomenon, I think, in Kerala politics nowadays, because all the political parties are taking into consideration of the winnability and the appealing, how the candidates can appeal the people. That is why I think the last election, especially 2014 Lok Sabha election, CPM succeeded in this respect. For example, fielding Innocent from Chalakudi. Right, so that was a great success. That's one of the reasons I think all the fronts also are now trying. Right. projecting more and more film stars and other.
Let me get in a few students here. What do you feel about contestants like Sri Sant? You know the background from where Sri Sant has come, cricketer facing corruption scandals and freed by the court. Then you have journalists like Veena George, film stars also in the fray. Do you think that this election is really about serious issues, or the political parties are just looking at one factor, and that is winnability?
Winnability is the only factor, and Srishant has been put, as far as my judgment goes, only to split the votes that might go to the majority for either Congress or Communist parties.
Okay. But when you talk about the manifesto of LDF and UDF, one thing which has been promised by the fronts is things like 25 lakh jobs are going to be given to the youths. Do you really think that looks like a realistic agenda which they have set for the 5 years? Can I get you on this? Okay, you want to speak? Yes. Speak.
I don't think so. Government can create more jobs on governmental field. In Kerala, it is an electoral gimmick.
Okay, I'll get in Professor Sajjad on this. What about the seriousness of the manifestos by both the fronts? And also for NDA, what they are promising? What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, all the fronts are also very much serious about the manifestos, but the parties also know that people are not very serious regarding the manifestos, because they are making a lot of promises, and there is not a kind of any kind of evaluation of the previous manifestos presented by the fronts. So that sense, I think this is not a great serious issue, but still parties have to project that they have this kind of programs. Otherwise, they will be very weak in the during the that campaign and all other kind of.
But Professor Sajjad, one thing which really mesmerizes me amidst all these promises of 25 lakh jobs across the sectors, and the one thing which across you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the political parties are not talking about the fact that there is not much of female participation in politics. You just have about 37 contestants across the three fronts. What is the indication? It's a highly literate state, but so much of political dissatisfaction.
Two important reasons I can point out. One is that male dominance of all the political parties. Second one is that parties also feel that if they field a women candidate, among the voters also, they feel it's not as serious.
Let me bring in this girl. When you are going to cast your vote on 16th of May, are you really going to keep this factor also in mind, that there are not many women candidates? And supposing if there is not a serious woman candidate in your constituency, probably you're going to press the nota button. Is that going to be an option for you?
No, not like that. But it may be a consideration for me, because there is no women's candidates than male candidates.
But there is a huge social media campaign, basically, from women collective groups who are basically urging the voters that, go on this issue, that there are not many female contestants, and so please press the nota button. You would not succumb. I mean, you would not approve of this, right?
No, I don't think nota is not a solution for.
Okay, nota is not a solution. I will not go into that detail, but let me bring in another issue, and that is another serious one. Amidst these promises of 25 lakh jobs, Professor Antony, due to the crisis, what has happened in Middle East, due to the crashing oil prices, remittances was a huge contributor to the economy of Kerala. But none of the parties are really talking about the fact as to how they are going to create jobs for this chunk of people who are going to come from Middle East. What is the indication? Are they really thinking? I mean, that's a real issue which Kerala is facing right now.
See, the earlier government has installed some mechanism to give jobs to the migrant returnees. And as a result of the falling of oil prices, so many persons are coming, so many persons will come if it continues. And it is the responsibility of the government to find out a new mechanism to rehabilitate them. But as of now, a new manifesto gives a clear-cut program to accommodate the concerns.
So which means that we can go by the assumption that manifestos by all the fronts is just a political gimmick. Are the governments really serious about prohibiting liquor, as has been promised by Chandy government, but is not being talked about too much by the political parties? Do you really feel so? And does it impact the credibility of these fronts?
In fact, about the manifestos that you are talking about, so any political party which comes up with a more accommodative manifesto, including, you know about Kerala. Kerala is supposed to be God's own country with greenery everywhere, and now it's freaking hot out here.
People also say it's becoming devil's own country now because of 74% the youth, especially in the age group of 5 to 18, taking to tobacco. Is it true?
Okay, yes, tobacco, liquor. See, there's a lot of things related to drug abuse, but is closing down the bars for the lower class people, for the middle class people, a solution, or should you also be considering closing down the 5-star hotels, bars, and the resort? They get license very free. So what do you mean?
So what is your opinion? You want the bars to be shut, or you want to continue with Chandi's phased out prohibition?
It's not black and white for me. It's not black and white.
Okay.
It's somewhere in between. So the solution is not completely shutting out things. So
so who's a more credible front for you?
None of the three here.
None of the three. That's a dangerous trend you're talking about.
Because see, I'll tell you, you heard about what happened recently at the Perumbavoor issue, right? So any political party which comes up with an amended manifesto, including housing for single women, I'll vote for that party.
Okay, so that's you wanted to I think you want to say something, Professor Anthony.
No.
Closing thoughts.
See, the most important thing is the two fronts are not at all attracting the people as far as the manifestos are concerned and the early performance are concerned.
Amidst this kind of an assumption and the conclusion which we have arrived at, my question now to the young voters is, which front do you consider more credible? Is it UDF? Is it LDF? Or you will give a chance to BJP? Let me begin from you. Quick.
Oh,
We're running out of time. Yes.
Maybe LDF.
LDF. Okay. Your choice?
UDF.
UDF. Not to BJP.
Not to BJP. Okay. That's a significant one. Your?
LDF.
LDF. Okay, now let me bring in Mr. Professor Sajjad also here. What is going to be your choice? Which front is more credible for you?
No, of course, as a neutral person, academician, it's very difficult to make a kind of comments on this one because it's my personal kind of choice. But I still feel that I will vote on the basis of the performance of the government.
Okay.
Because, and more on the basis of their merit and kind of things. So that sense, because it's very difficult to make a kind of comment in publicly.
Right, but 2-3 people here have said that they're going to vote for UDF. So you're ready to make Woman Chandi the Chief Minister for the second time despite all the allegations of corruption? One second. You have to say this on the mic.
I'm not a pro-communist or pro-Congress, but I don't find any reason why not Congress being given a second chance. Because allegations on corruption has always...
You guys don't feel that there is anti-incumbency against UDF?
Allegation,
Anti-incumbency. I'm talking about the anti-incumbency factor. There's no anti-incumbency against Woman Chandi government?
No.
Not that much. No, not that much. Okay. So it's difficult to arrive at a conclusion, but what I can gather from whatever I've heard from the students and the faculty, it can be a tight-cornered contest between the UDF and the LDF. But of course, whichever front is voted for, they cannot afford to ignore the choices of these young people who are really going to define the path for India in the years to come. Thank you all of you for coming here on this special episode of Campus Debate. Thank you so much.